Hello, I wanted to show you guys what an actual full service gallery wall art design client looks like. I had a client in DC who contacted me a couple years ago. She actually saw this photo right here on my website of my staircase gallery, and that's my cute little puppy right there. And she loved it so much, she had a staircase obviously in her home, and she wanted a gallery also. So when she contacted me, she sent me this photo right here, which kind of shows you a little bit of the staircase wall. This is her view from her front door. So I'm going to show you how we did this. So first thing we did was I actually did a site visit so that I could take more photos of her wall and also so I could take some photos of the rest of her house and get a sense of her style. They have this really cool brick wall. It's a DC row house, some really neat artwork. I noticed she had like these teal frames laying around. She had like this kind of shabby chic thing going on with some of her frames and stuff. And so that helped me get a little bit better idea of her style. So this is the staircase wall. And it was just kind of one of those odd because the bulkhead, it was really hard to take a straight on shot. So just like I have in the directions above, take a couple shots, try and get as straight on as possible. If we have to do something like this, that's fine. I can kind of make it work. But I did end up going ahead and kind of taking a photo like this, which gave me a little bit more room to work with. One of the things you'll notice is that you've got this banister railing here. And so I kind of made sure everything was designed so that when you were looking at it, the railing didn't block anything. So we'll go ahead and start going through. Now this was her inspiration that she sent me. She really liked that these were different color frames. She liked that the photos were black and white. And her plan was actually to use photos that they already had from their travels and stuff. So I was not actually her photographer for that. She was just an interior design client. So this was the first design I gave her. I gave her two designs. This one was a little bit more modern, more similar to my gallery wall over here. And then I also made up a design for her. I called it the eclectic design. This was more incorporating other elements. She talked about their travels, their initials for their last name, and then we just had a lot of this stuff in here. Some of these represent things that she already had. Like she gave me a list of and took pictures of items they already had. So like when we come in here, you can see they already had this piece of wood with the stuff written on it. And so I was able to incorporate that. We talked about doing some frames in teal to kind of match the rest of the house, and doing a mix of teal and white frames on the wall to give her, so it tied everything together. And this is what I mean about the line of the banister. I wanted to make sure everything was either above that line or almost touching it. I didn't want to have things down here, because they have a little boy who was about 2. No, I think he was about a year. But I knew he'd be climbing up the stairs at some point, and we obviously don't want fingerprints all over it. Also, I didn't want any of their photos to get blocked by this railing. So the design was kind of above the railing. And as you can see here, like I said, this was a full service design client. So not only did I come out, take a look at the space, do all the measurements, take the photos, get a sense of her style, I made the designs up, and I actually placed the orders for the frames, and then I came back and installed it for her. She really just wanted to have everything installed, and then she and her husband took their time and they filled in the frames as they went. So these were some of the elements that I had purchased for her. We've got their initial up here. Some things change. When you do a design, not everything lands exactly as you start out with. One of the things I wanted to do, and you can see here, is I wanted to kind of frame out these two guys right here to just kind of make it blend in so they weren't quite as obvious, and I think it worked out. It's a cute little touch. So here you can see this was after I had finished. These blank marks here represent some canvases that she already had. I framed these guys out and I wrote some of the names of the places they had visited, so that way they could, obviously not that, but so that way they could fill those with those particular photos. This was something she already had on hand. So they didn't really have a whole lot on hand, but they had a few things, and she had an idea of what she wanted to do. Let's see. And then you can kind of see some of the details on it. I believe this was a frame she already had. I think this was a frame that I sourced for her. We sourced these frames from an Etsy shop, and it was really nice because we were able to customize everything and place an order to exactly what she wanted. As you go through, we've got some little elements in there that are kind of cute. You can see everything. Just kind of gives you an idea of how into these you can get. This is what I mean by I kind of frame those guys out just to make them blend in a little bit more. And then, and you can see it ties in with her gallery, her pictures up here, which was definitely something we wanted. And so this is kind of right before. This is where everything's needing to be filled in. And this is the after. And you can see where they filled in their pictures. They've even changed this one out. they've added their canvases, and they've gone all the way up. And so now this wall truly reflects their life and all the different stages of their life. It's not just one photo session. It's very personal to them, and that's one of the things that I really love. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a walkthrough on a full service client to see what a full-on eclectic wall gallery design looks like, and that is a custom option that I offer if you're interested. Thanks so much. Bye.